roughly 100 feet away. So,
Oh.
and my voice and Cedric's voice tends to carry.
Me?
So,
No.
yeah,
Come on.
it's true.
All right. All right. I won't fight you.
Yeah.
So we'll see if each player's going to end up keeping their 7. You see Ruben Bressler there behind Matt. Taking the shots.
Floating around the periphery.
That's right.
Birding. Professional bird. But with a certain stoicism about him.
So Matt looking to get it done.
Will the man who came dressed to do business be able to wrap up his business here?
Right. Punch in, punch out.
Yeah, just another day in the office. Matt's going to be on the play again as the top overall record in the Swiss. Matt was also our only player to win 7 Swiss rounds. Everyone else was 6-0-2 or 6-1.
He has decimated this
Yes.
tournament. He's just looking for one more.
All right, it looks like Matt's taking a mulligan. His hand had a Thoughtseize. I believe his only land was a Wasteland, though.
Okay.
And he had a Plow also, so he's already kind of on 6 cards.
And funny to see a deck that's Wasteland so poor against too. They're so rare, as we see some cards. It's a 7 card, and we can't see quite what they are. But
I'm presuming it's some blue spells and some basic islands or fetch lands.
yeah.
I mean,
Good read.
yeah.
Yeah. You can really call it, buddy.
Right. This is why they pay me the big bucks.
That's right.
Some Joe Buck and Tim McCarver level insight.
The first one to 0 loses.
Yep. I think this game is really going to be determined by the combined effort of the offense and defense.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, that's sort of by definition true. Thanks. It's not super helpful.
Tell me more.
You don't say.
And 6.
I mean, this looks like lands and spells.
Depends on what the spells are.
There might not be lands, actually. Spoke too
Doesn't
soon.
look like it. Can't really tell. Looks like he... Alright. So we're going to see Verdant Catacombs. 19 for Matt. We are underway. Finals of Start City Games Open Series.
All right. I'll put $500 in play.
Don't even think about wastelanding.
I guess 515 if we count the catacomb.
Yeah. We're going to see an acquisition of code selector.
All right. So we have Cunning Wish, Preordain. Land heavy hand.
What are you taking here, Preordain or Candelabra?
Really depends on what the rest of his hand is like.
Okay. Alternatively, how do you feel about inquisitioning on turn 1?
I think it's reasonable because of the presence of Brainstorm.
Okay.
I mean, I understand you want to wait until you have a little more information. Maybe have Feline draw something. I mean, he gets to choose something here.
Yeah.
He's going to take that Preordain.
Yeah. Typically, you know, when I've played discard strategies against combo decks, I try to wait until, you know, a turn before they can attempt to go off, which is often, you know, turn 3 or turn 4.
Oh, so Feline's going to actually stick the Candelabra here. So if we have a Brockdeck here, Maelstrom Pulse, we're actually live.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take Cunning Wish here.
Well, presumably.
Yeah, she drew a line on the turn. So.
Okay.
All right, so now all Matt needs to really do is find a clock.
Yep.
Another land.
You see the fetch land preparing for a Brainstorm if it comes off the top.
Yep.
That draws a card.
It's like
Tarmogoyf.
Tarmogoyf. We got some action.
We're going to see some fetch lands here. That's going to knock himself down to 17. Can get more of his beautiful non-basics. No,
Yep.
no wastelands to be scared of here.
Yep.
How much is that, roughly?
1600. I
Yeah.
mean, it depends what kind of shape they're in, but out there, we've just got a confirmation they're pack fresh, so we're probably we're closer to about $2,000.
Okay.
It's not bad. I mean, it's not.
I'd rather have a Goblin. Let's see. Tarmogoyf hit play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow.
Very rare. Very. Oh, and we just drew the. We just drew
Decay?
Abrupt Decay. I assume we're just going to tag the Candelabra right now.
Yeah, make Tarmogoyf bigger. I think
Get an artifact in there.
Yeah, I think if he tags Candelabra and makes it into a
Instant land sorcery currently in the graveyard. We're going to add an artifact, I assume.
the Zenith as well. Nope. No. He won't let anyone do that. Alright. We're going to see Abrupt Decay.
That's a big, you know.
That is huge. It's going to bring Tarmogoyf up to a 4/5, I believe.
And I believe that with, you know...
Bigger. Flip the die. Bigger.
It's bigger.
There we go.
Do we have an ace to actually go get with our Zenith here, or we just sort of have random... We have Knight, Tarmogoyf, Shaman, Ooze, so no hate bear really, but...
Yeah. So in for 4 more. Bring Feline down to 12. We're going to see Greenstone Zenith for 2. We're going to see...
That's a Flusterstorm.
Flusterstorm, okay.
Sure. Hard to use that card otherwise.
Yep. And draws a card. Didn't quite get a good glimpse of it. Cunning Wish?
Is that actually...
Maybe?
Is that a Time Spiral, maybe?
Oh,
no. Oh, no.
no.
Oh, God. Were those running... Was that running... Oh, my goodness.
It's just
That's all it
that
takes.
easy. It's just that easy.
That's all it takes.
Now, there's no guarantee that Matt is going to die this turn, but it is.
Yep. I mean, this is definitely not guaranteed success from here. I mean, there's a pretty reasonably high failure rate. We're going to be floating to... We have 8 in the pool, so we're going to be floating to, in essence.
Well, we're going to see Time Spiral. And here we go. Control gets RFG'd. And untaps keys, and it's time to shuffle. Man, I thought Matt might steal this one.
Yeah. But this really gets back to, you know, if Feline is ultimately jammed by mana while she's going off here, definitely highlights the need to keep Candelabra in your hand if at all possible.
Yeah.
She was flooding out, and so she wasn't really constrained on mana so much. This also, even if she does fizzle going off here, it does shrink Tarmogoyf considerably.
Also true. Alright, let's see it.
Let's go.
Dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, cinco, seis. Give it to me, baby. I see 2 forces. Uh-oh.
This hand doesn't look that good. There's a Candelabra. Oh, okay.
Okay, high tide. 1 left.
I don't know if she actually has any action. She's got 2 forces. She has a Ponder, a Candelabra.
I'd like to believe that high tide wouldn't be cast unless she had something. So
No, you have to start that range. It's
you could just start with Ponder and try to find something.
sure.
Draw a mystery card.
It is a Brainstorm. That's a big draw.
Hit 1, hit 2,
Land.
hit 3.
Flusterstorm,
Force of Will.
Candelabra.
I feel like we're in trouble now.
Oh yeah, I think. Oh, she has a Cunning Wish.
Yeah, the movements are so quick. I feel like we're in some serious trouble.
Yeah.
Yep. Blue Sun's time. 2 Candelabras.
Yeah.
I think we're playing another one, my friend. And this one's gonna probably go to high tides. We're gonna see Candelabra do what it does.
Yeah. She just needs to float enough mana to be able to turn about.
Yeah. She blues on some for an. I guess we wipe away on. Okay, wipe away on the candelabra.
AKA big wipes.
Yeah. And if you don't mind, I'm going to do this again.
Yep.
And we're using blue suns for a whole bunch. 6.
I know my friend Jeff Liu, who's a big Time Spiral player, actually advocates having a capsize because you can actually go infinite in some of these spots with your mana.
Sure.
By just capsizing your
candelabra.
candelabras and then capsizing all their permanents and then, you know, either winning or not,
Yeah.
depending on what kind of mood you're in.
Yeah. Could just say go. Yeah. It's just up to you.
Yeah.
World's your oyster at that point.
All right. So, yeah, I think Feline is just actually. I don't think this is any sort of rub-ins. I think she's just sorting out her hand, just for sake of, you know, the counters in the land go and then the cards that are actually gas.
Yeah, and we saw this last match, and if you guys tuned into the Pro Tour in Seattle, you actually saw goodness, the winner's name is escaping me right now. But the player who played Eggs, he did the exact same thing when he was going off. A Sifka.
Oh, sure, snap your Tamagotchi, so because we need, you know, 15 more mana.
Yeah, Stanislav Sifka did the exact same thing when he was going off with Eggs, just revealing each card once he knew it was go time. So just makes it a lot easier.
Right.
No rub-ins whatsoever.
All right, so we're gonna get the blue zenith again, and so I do have to say, Feline is substantially faster playing this deck than most Time Spiral pilots I have watched on camera.
Sure.
I mean, this is not. I mean, for as many actions as are going on here and the amount of tracking that's happening, the iterations through here are very fast.
Well, it's a real pleasure to watch when someone that knows how to play a combo deck that's this complicated to be able to do it quickly.
Yep.
We're going to see a turnabout here on the candelabras.
Sure. 35,000 more mana.
Yep. Soup. Take that. Rewind it back. I didn't have an next lyric or a line.
Ludacris got the flow to make your booty go.
Yes.
I believe is the follow-up.
If you're an Usher fan. And really, who isn't?
All right.
Game.
Blue Fireball takes another one. That was an impressive couple of running draws there.
Yeah. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. It looks like we have a concession here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, Beta Land's going back into their home.
Right. You know, there was a match that I watched once upon a time of actually Time Spiral versus Junk. Just burning a random match at some Grand Prix or whatever. And I just thought to myself as I'm watching this poor guy draw like a Mother Runes and a Swords to Plowshares and like a Pernicious Deed or whatever the hell, while some person's like spiraling into pure gasoline. I was like, I never really want to be on the Junk side of this.
Yeah. Well,
don't really want to have Mother Runes in my legacy deck, I don't think.
It's a tough spot. Very humbling when you're getting Time Spiral into the ground.
Oh, well, Mother Runes is very powerful. There's going to be a lot of creature combat. If creature removal's a thing, you know, it's a big trump in those matchups.
That's true.
Draw your whole deck. Put your whole deck in your hand right now.
Yeah, do it right now. Don't talk to me. Where's your deck? Why is it in your hand?
Yeah.
So, Patrick, you want to play a game?
Yeah.
Let's play Nose Goes. That's you. Jeez.
Come on, man.
Jeez, that's
Come
tough.
on, man.
That is tough.
So we're about to go into the sideboarded games, where, as we talked about before the match started, we believe that Matt's game improves substantially as he gets to cut some of his creature, the spot removal that doesn't really do anything, and instead add some disruption. Part of that disruption is a green and white creature that's particularly good against spells. For 1 year of Star City Games Premium, answer that question, #SCG Premium, and we will select one person at random, and that person will win a free year of Premium.
Okay.
Which is even more exciting now that Star City Games website is in the middle of a renovation. You can go check it out at beta.starcitygames.com. Check out the new layout.
Check out the new show, Above the Curve.
Yeah.
With Glenn, Jerry, and Brad.
Yeah.
Sweet review every 2 weeks of what's going on in the Magic world. So definitely check that out. Really well done show by those guys.
Yeah. And so, yeah, make sure the new website, I think it goes live relatively soon.
Yeah.
And it's the layout and the ease with which you can navigate the site from my bit of time, tinkering around on there seems like it's a pretty substantial upgrade. So make
I
sure to give that a gander. So I'm assuming that Feline Sideboard is very Cunning Wish dedicated, so she probably doesn't have a ton of cards to bring in.
Yeah, again, the cards that Feline bring in were the cards that were extremely useful against Rug Delver, which were Pact Negation, an additional Flusterstorm, stuff like that. And then there are 2 Grafdigger's Cages here, but they're not really great in this particular matchup.
Yeah, Pact Negation very good at fighting against decks that are trying to fight you with counterspells. Obviously not very good against the deck that was trying to fight you with sorceries.
Yeah.
Like Thoughtseize and Hymn to Torak.
And as you said, the rest of the sideboard is pretty much dedicated to Cunning Wish. There's the Blue Sun Zenith, of course, which is the win condition. There's an Intuition, there's a Meditate, there's a Turnabout, there's a Rebuild, there's a Snap, there's a Wipe Away, the additional Flusterstorm, and a Surgical Extraction. So I can't imagine those singletons coming in.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine Path Negation coming in, or Grafdigger's Cage as well, so it wouldn't surprise me just to see the same starting 60. I mean, it worked out pretty well that game.
Right, yeah. I mean, it looks like Path Negation and Grafdigger's Cage, like you said, are pretty much the only things that are actual sideboard cards you would bring in for a matchup. Everything else is just utility. And a lot of her wish targets are also singletons in her deck that allows her to Merchant Scroll for it as well, so she actually has some tutoring redundancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of these decks often get in these squeeze where they want to bring in a sideboard card either to one of their wish targets either naturally draw or find with Merchant Scroll. That means you can no longer wish for it. Feline's deck is set up in such a way that she can both scroll and wish for all of her singleton bullets, with the exception of some of the super specific ones like Surgical Extraction. Obviously that's a reactive card for very specific things. All the things that sort of proactively facilitate her going off, she can either find through Merchant Scroll or Cunning Wish.
So again, it's going to be up to Matt. Now that he's able to board out some of the worst cards in his deck, those removal spells. Some real stinkers. He's going to board in some nice cards here in Hymn to Torak, and I think Gaddock definitely coming in here to take care of Time Spiral, Surgical as well. He's got some nice cards he can board in.
Oh yeah, for sure. And a lot of this is just addition by subtraction, because the cards getting cut are 0 or close to 0 utility.
And I think we felt, as we said at the top, that game 1 was going to be pretty tough for Matt, just because of those bad draws. He almost was able to steal that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, these games are just, I feel like they're in.
I mean, that was an important one. That was a very important one for Feline to win, because it gets much harder from here. And Matt almost did. I mean, those were, I believe, running draws of Time Spiral and High Tide and Time Spiral.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely across 3 turns.
Yep. Go together like peanut butter and jelly.
They sure do. Or lamb and tuna fish.
I didn't know that was really a combo. According to whom?
Rob Schneider in the movie Big Daddy.
That I must have missed that one.
Yeah. Most do. Most do. Great actor, Rob Schneider. We may have different definitions of great.
He has done a good job of making something out of nothing. That's for sure. That's a skill of sorts. Sorry, Rob, if you're listening. I'm just not a fan of your movies.
Deuce Bigelow's my jam.
Matt taking a mulligan for the 2nd consecutive game. And this is probably a mulligan more about just having a bad draw as opposed to game 1 where you can be mulliganing just because of, dead weight.
Yeah.
A keepable hand in the blind that is not keepable against Time Spiral. Yeah. But if all of our Time Spiral players played this deck at the efficiency that Feline did, we would have this deck on camera a lot more often, I think.
This is a step in the right direction.
Yeah. This could be a watershed moment for Time Spiral players everywhere.
I can only hope.
Yeah.
Love me a High Tide deck. Love it, love it, love it. Would I ever play it? No. No. I'm too stupid.
You know what?
But I love watching it in action.
I actually do own 4 candelabras, which I acquired in a fit of anger after one legacy event, where I'm just like, the next one I go to, I'm going to take this out on people. So I actually do have the deck built at all. I'm missing the Time Spirals. I have everything else. I should just go at a moment's notice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Be a real tough guy.
Maybe one of these days.
I can only hope. Boy, I would love to see you play that deck. Just all fidgety with your High Tide, your preordains. I think you drop by like round 3 because it's not really for you. But
just in the 1-2 table with bloodshot eyes.
Yeah. Here, pick up your deck. Pick it up. He's kept it. I think he's kept it. Yeah. And we know Feline's got turn 7, so we are going to see a turn 1.
Thoughtseize, good start.
Cunning Wish on the top. We're going to spread them, hopefully.
I'm going to spread them right into the glare.
Take a spot at any spot.
It looks like there's a Cunning Wish and a Candelabra at the minimum here.
There we go.
Two high tides. This would be a very good time for Matt to have surgical extraction.
Would not be a bad time. Now, are you taking High Tide here, or are you maybe considering Candelabra, maybe Cunning Wish? I think Flusterstorm is the worst of the bunch.
I think. Okay. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it just depends on the rest of his hand, I suppose.
Okay. Blue Sun Zenith is the card drawn. Interesting.
I mean, I guess it's possible if he's sided out his... I don't know, maybe if...
We'll see Sensei's Divining Top here from Matt. I find that draw step very interesting for Feline. Blue Sun Zenith in the deck, not in the sideboard.
Maybe that is some amount of insurance against her Cunning Wishes getting tagged by surgical extraction.
So I guess it doesn't have to be in the sideboard to win.
Yep.
You can find it with Merchant
We
Scroll.
just found a Galactique. I don't think we can... I don't know if we have a third land to cast it. Okay, never mind. And I mean, next turn, in theory, with the information Matt has, if there's a time spiral, I mean, Feline can just go off from here, I think. Needs a turnabout plus a spiral. It could be that soon.
Yeah, doesn't take much. You see creatures in the hand. You gotta get a clock going.
Yeah,
Here
come
we
on.
go. Let's go.
It's just an issue of which one, right?
Yeah. Gotta get this ship sailing.
Okay. Alright, we're going to crack our fetch land. This is going to push Tarmogoyf up to a 3-4.
I'm gonna clear the top as well.
Yep. We just drew the Galactique, the card that we really want.
Okay. That's a big deal there. It's gonna shut off his Zeniths, but I don't think it shuts off too much. I don't think it shuts off almost anything else in his deck.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like I would have erred on the side of probably taking High Tide with that initial Thoughtseize, because in terms of Feline's ability to go off, it's sort of like 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Like, it's just all mana, right?
Sure.
And the upside is that if you draw another discard spell, you can get both the High Tides, and then the Candelabra doesn't do anything. And if you draw a Surgical Extraction, now it's a huge swing.
Sure.
Because
As we're gonna see a Galactique. Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying.
assuming no additional disruption, it's roughly the same. And it plays so much better if you draw additional disruption to have taken a High Tide.
Yeah. Plus, it turns on your surgical extractions in such a big way because they can go off without Candelabra. But they can't go off. I'd like to believe they can't go off without High Tide.
Yeah, I mean, you can try to manual it, but
yeah, I would be impressed.
you can try to beast mode or whatever, but it's not easy.
Yeah. As we're going to see Cunning Wish here. Such an interesting card that Cunning Wish you can snap is such an efficient answer to the Galactique.
Yeah, actually
It's
makes
crazy.
mana. I mean, we know now she has 2 High Tides in hand. I believe that she can go off from here.
Well,
Well, certainly with a 4th lane, yeah. If we have time sprawl, I mean, we're ready to go.
The coast's pretty clear,
I mean, the last card that she really has to worry about is Surgical Extraction.
but happy to wait. As we see Dark Confidant, we see 1 surgical extraction, as you said.
Yep.
A mystery card here. So those are good draws. You're going to see an attack here for 5. Going to put Feline down to 11, getting closer.
Yep.
we're going to see a Scavenging Ooze here. Yes, we are. Deciding if Scavenging Ooze is going to resolve or not.
I think maybe Matt's thinking about firing off that surgical.
On the Cunning Wish.
Yep. And I would be a little. I mean, I don't like Matt delaying on his action there because it's more likely to put it on Feline's radar that.
See a Ponder. Leads me to believe that we're going to be waiting a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So we see a High Tide. We see a Merchant Scroll,
And a
Time
High
Spiral,
Tide, yeah.
and a Flusterstorm are the 3 cards there for Ponder. Keeps them.
Flusterstorm actually allows her to go off right now because she can cover herself against surgical extraction.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that she has enough to do it. Although I guess there's no real rush as well.
I mean, using Life Total as a resource does have one more
He
turn.
just drew an Inquisition? Is that an Inquisition?
That is a Deathrite Shaman.
Deathrite. Okay, so he has no disruption.
Yeah.
He's just on the Scadoc-Teague.
He gets one more shot at it if he wants to spin top this turn to get 1 card deeper.
Yeah, and I would because I feel like, I mean,
I wouldn't feel safe here.
yeah, it's
Yeah, which is
Ponder, leave on top, pass. I'm like,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
We're gonna see it again. 1 and 2
Teague.
and 3.
Dark
is
Confidant.
Sylvan Library and get a Teague.
Yeah, so he is naked, effectively.
It's not over, but it feels like it.
Yeah, I mean, he's still, from his own perspective, he still has the surgical extraction, which presents some disruption, but we know now with the Flusterstorm that Feline has that covered.
Mm-hmm.
So we go High Tide.
Here
Okay.
we
go. Okay, so we now have, looks like, so we now have 1 mana floating. And it looks like we're going to go for it. So I assume our response here, if we're, I guess we're responding. We're responding to the first surgical extraction right now? Or sorry, rather we're responding to the first High Tide?
And the first High Tide is resolved. I believe we're responding to the second High Tide.
Okay. So I'm assuming we've cast 1, 2, 3, so we can just Flusterstorm this with the mana that's floating, right?
If we choose to.
I don't think it's going to get much better than this.
Flusterstorm is going to be for 3, correct? High Tide, Surgical Extraction.
And the Flusterstorm itself.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's 4.
Yeah. I think it's going to counter it.
So now we can snap Scadoc-Teague and... I mean, we've gone this far, so I believe now... Okay, so now
we're
that's
going
resolved.
all the way home.
So
yeah.
we have a mana floating, and we're going to snap the Scadoc-Teague. And untap those 2 lands.
We're going
Now
to
we
see
have-
Time Spiral.
And we have 4 mana floating.
I really like how redundant this High Tide deck is,
Oh yeah, I mean,
and how it's able to just push through. It seems like it's almost having no trouble pushing these 8 cards. As we see, Scavenging Ooze is going to get activated here on 1 card.
yeah, I guess this is sort of a freebie, right? I guess,
I don't want you to shuffle that High Tide back in.
yeah, basically the only reason to not do this that I can really think of is assuming that Feline is going to be spiraling a few times. It gets him multiple shots while she's spiraling to spin top and find an extraction, which is the last piece of anything resembling relevant disruption in this deck now.
Yep.
I'm not sure if that's better or worse than like removing one of her better reshuffles off of here. I mean, it's very, very marginal in either case.
Yeah. So will this be the final time spiral that we see today?
I mean, I think we're going to see at least one more as we're doing our thing here.
She could miss with this draw 7, but boy is it tough.
Yeah, I mean, with that amount of mana floating, I mean, this deck is basically pure gas.
Dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, cinco, seis.
There's another spiral, it looks like, isn't that?
Yeah, I think I saw that as well.
Abrupt Decay, Tarmogoyf, Deathrite Shaman.
Don't forget the Dryad Arbor. Activating top, you see.
Yeah, and now he's basically, he at some point gets an opportunity to blind top for a surgical, and that is all he can do to disrupt what's going on. So he is now at the mercy of.
And here we go. Brainstorm.
Yeah, we aren't. I don't think we're fizzling from here.
1, 2, 3. Is she playing quickly enough for you?
This has actually been awesome. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right side.
this is someone who has the order of operations down for sure.
Yeah.
Make mana first, then cantrip, then spiral, then.
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right, let's go.
Matt, you know, shot. Not sure if it's going to be quite good enough, but you get to see 7 more, potentially 8 with a mystery draw from Sensei's Divining Top.
Yeah, but it's not even clear what the extraction could even break up at this point because she's flush with mana, so like tagging High Tide is relevant.
Yeah, flush with mana. I mean, great, no graveyard or anything right now either,
yeah.
so I haven't really seen my surgical extraction. It's very live draw. Something would have to go horribly wrong, I think. See at least some brainstorms here. You see Snap. You see High Tide.
Yep.
You see Candelabra. You see Turnabout.
All right, so
Surgical.
we drew an extraction. I assume at this point it's like, okay, that's actually not a huge deal.
To me, it's almost like kind of just want that
Yeah.
card out of my deck,
Yeah,
right?
if-
That's
If
3
I
less
fizzle,
cards
it's gonna
in a
be.
way.
If I fizzle, yeah, it's gonna be because of insufficient gas, not insufficient mana.
Yeah. You see Brainstorm here in response to the surgical extraction.
And I believe she just found her blue Zenith.
Cunning Wish in response.
What are you doing? Are we just fluster storming or something?
Yeah, you can counter if she wants. Pack Negation also an option. World is her oyster. If she wants to take care of it, she will. If she doesn't want to, she doesn't have to.
You can see the look on her face too, being like, whatever.
Yeah. Surgical you back. You see how you like it, buddy.
Yeah, you actually just extract his extractions and just not worry about anything for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
Oh, did she extract her own brainstorm response and then fail to find?
I'm not sure. No, it doesn't look like
okay.
it. No, hands open.
Oh,
No,
okay.
she's lying. Yeah, she's lying. Take it away. You're only going to find one more in there.
How do you like it, buddy?
I like that.
Taste your own medicine.
Stay out of my way.
May also want to just surgical him to see all the spot removal he has in his deck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be curious. I would want to know.
Make him put it on camera. Yeah, show the world. Show the world your hand. Like, dominate you in every way.
Yeah. I wish I could get a look at the remainder of her hand. I do believe the bottom most card of her hand is blue Zenith.
Sure.
That's the wrap it up box right there. Get him.
Yeah, get yours. No moss.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Feel free. Oh no.
No, she was at 4. The prompter was just a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, no, she didn't just.
Okay.
She did not just kill herself.
My heart just skipped a beat. That's how she was at too. I'm like, did she just? But no. Just fine.
Yep.
More surgical. No more of this.
So now we're just.
But you can keep that Deathrite Shaman, Green Sun Zia, the Dark Confidant.
Yeah, they're all yours.
You know what? You can put them in play. I'm nice. And back to your regularly scheduled program.
Yep. Sharp.
And tap skis. Bunch of mana ski. Candle number 1.
So the islands are currently tapping for 5. So these are all 6 mana islands. Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, I think we're fireballing here. I think we have.
Boop. Boop.
Yeah, he's going to be drawing hundreds of cards, I believe.
Your deck, your hand.
And for 87.
Yeah, those over there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Feline Longmore.
We have a champion.
Legacy champion.
Feline Longmore playing high tide to perfection.
The world's first efficient high tide player. Congratulations. A well-deserved trophy. A potential watershed moment in the civil rights movement of time spiral players everywhere.
Oh. You shed a tear.
Yep.
That's how happy I am.